Ladles and jelly spoons. Tim down for living with MS in Tenerife. We're here on our balcony today. It is balcony banter, and today we are doing something that somebody wrote in, and I've forgotten the name again, and I can't say it anyway. But don't worry, we shall find out in during the show who it was. We are inviting people on today, so if you want to go and join in the show, it's timothydowd.com/live. If you want to find out where we are, it's timothydowd.com/events. And you're watching Balcony Banter. If you're new to the channel, and thanks to Lee for pushing out the channel today, and I got a lot more subscribers. Thank you very much. I hope you watch. I don't need empty subscribers. I need the people who want to watch. So if you decide it's not for you, go ahead and unsubscribe again. I don't really mind. But if you do like what you see, then stay subscribed because we've got lots of different shows coming this summer. And I have my beautiful wife. She just put her cool glasses on, so I'm gonna do this. There she is.
I look cooler.
You do look cooler. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna zoom in on you. Let's get this camera zoom in. There she is. There's Chris in all her glory. That's super cool, super cool. I'm gonna do the thing again now with the lower third for Chris. Here it is again. Christina Dowd living with MS in Tenerife balcony banter. Cool dude. Chris can't say it because I haven't put the monitor up today, but don't worry about that.
I couldn't see it anyway.
You can't see it anyway.
He was with the monitor.
Well, there you go. And we do have two's up. She's over there. I'm over here. Oh, it's a bit wrong now, isn't it? Let's zoom out a bit. What we've done wrong. Anyway, there we go. There's Christina. I got the fat head. Chris has got the normal size head. Let's get a random comment up. Here's a random comment from Una Minds. Hi, Anne and David. There you go. Whoever they are. Anne-Marie Elton and David Butler. Of course, ladles and jelly spoons. Of course. And magically, the thing will go away eventually. There you go. I'm pretty cool like that. So no magic tricks today. I might make a little bit of water disappear. There you go. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. That's what they say anyway. That's what they say. So let's see what you guys are saying at the comments. So we're going to start off with, oh, where's my cursor gone? It's always the same on this thing. It always disappears off screen because it thinks I've got a monitor attached. Because I don't turn it off. I just unplug it. I should really turn it off. Jeff Daniels on, Simon Marks, Derek Walker, Joe JMJ. Hello, Joe JMJ. Eric, Sarah Childs is on, Dave Butler, Una Mines. Did we do Anne as well? We get Anne as well. Sarah Childs, David Butler, Una Mines, Anne-Marie on there she is. Jeff Daniels, Sarah Childs. Hope the nurse Anne is looking after you. Who's on crutches? Carol Smith's on. Tricia Slater. Good evening, Tricia. How the devil are you? I thought I might have let the cat out of the bag when you said that Cole's on the island, but then I looked and he did his live last night there. Unfortunately, I wasn't available to join in the live, but there you go. Cole, if you're watching on catch up, I don't have a walk for tomorrow morning. So if you fancy a walk tomorrow morning, I'll come and pick you up. We'll go for a walk. But if you're sleeping in, that's also okay. And Freaky Friday, I'm going to do somewhere down your end of the neck of the woods because I'm not going to the Monte Cristo. So if you fancy joining me for Freaky Friday, let me know. Catherine Pulver's still on. Sarah Charles. Tim looked at them. Apartments think they sold out for the dates wanted. We'll email you. Okay, cool dude. I don't know of any other apartments. So the only other thing I could do is there's a couple of Airbnbs on our complex. But if you want to be down in the thick of it, then I really don't know about that. There you go. Hi, Jeff, David Butler, Sarah, Craig, David, Tricia, and Send Smiler from New Zealand. Twice in one day, Smiler. Cool dude. What time is it there now? It's late. It must be late there, isn't it? 12 hours, eh?
No idea.
Hey Siri, what time is it in New Zealand?
In Wellington, New Zealand, it's 5 o'clock.
5 a.m. in Wellington. Oh my God. Whereabouts are you, Smiler? Or are you just from New Zealand? You're not actually dialing in from New Zealand. That would be interesting. And Saison from Manchester, I found out this morning. Evening to me, Christina. And Edinburgh and beyond. Hello, Michael. It's Craig and Morris Pover. Have we got two now? We've got two Povers. There we go. Ted Whitfield and his wife Susan. Carol. Siobhan's on. Garin Davis. Hello, Garin. I Una, same to you, says Smiler. Just me, says hi everyone from Belgium. Emma Kelly's on. Thanks for all your messages, Emma. I really like that. And I like that you're watching the old stuff as well. Hello, Tim and Christina. You both good? Enjoyed the walk. It was a good one, says Warren. Hit the thumbs up, says Anne. Thank you very much. Craig, 5 in Wellington. There you go. You didn't get Wellington out. You said 5 in wee. And Stephen Moody's on. I've seen your name for a while, Stephen. I hope you're doing very well. I had a great walk this morning with Gordon Duncanson. I got to get it right. I was going to say Gordon Lightfoot because that was the thing. Gordon Duncanson. We had a great walk and we met this really interesting guy that's bought the La Terraza, I think it's called, in the Apollo Center in Los Cristianos, just behind the bus station. There's a nice French couple that had this bar. He was a great cook. She was a great front of house, and there were bubbly people. I think it was Orcus Whaling where I asked for a bacon croissant, and she went, "Oh," but then she says, "No, I'll do a bacon brioche for you." That was actually good, the bacon brioche. But none of that today because the new guy, what's his name? Oh God, I've forgotten his name now. Terry? No. On the tip of my tongue. Say that. It's not Terry, is it? Oh my God. Anyway, so Cass husband. Okay, Morris, thanks. Yes, so we met this guy, and he was really interesting. He's been all over the world. He's lived all over the world, and he teaches bridge, the card game bridge, and cribbage and chess. And he's got like the contract now to teach everybody bridge in Arona, I think it is. And he's opened the cafe as a bridge club. He said he'll still be doing breakfasts and coffees in the mornings, I think from 9 till midday. And then certain afternoons he's doing the club. And then after September it's open every day. So check that out. We'll go and see if we can get down there on Monday around about 2 o'clock to go and see what the bridge club's about. I'm not going to go live on that one, but I am going to go and film it. So that will be interesting. Trevor, thank you very much. I need to begin with the Trevor, thank you guys. Hello, Tim. Weather looks amazing. It is quite nice. Quite nice. Have you got 9K subs yet, Tim? Not yet, but Lee put a thing up on Facebook. I'll check to see just in case. He did say tonight. Tonight's not over yet. But 8,922. I'm 78 away from 9,000. I'm actually 1,078 away from 10,000. There you go. And I'm 99,078 away from 100,000. Is that right? I can't do that. I can't do maths in my head.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Craig, it says French, Una Mines. Hey Tim, the weather looks. We did that one. Trevor, we did that one. There you go. Trevor. Oil and Casper's Adventures. Good evening, Tim and Christina. My uncle would have loved that bridge club. That was his hobby. Okay. You actually play a game that's similar to bridge, don't you? Called Shuffle.
Sounds good for me, but I don't know whether it's similar to it.
I think you play with 4 and you're playing opposites.
Yeah.
And in bridge, it's always set who you're playing with. But Sharpcock, it's a mystery. It's a mystery.
Changing it every game.
Oh, it does change, but you don't know who you're playing with at the beginning, do you?
No.
You just say you're going to play with the person with the ace of spades or something like that.
Yeah, and how they play and find out.
Yeah, you find out who it is. Yeah, but they're not allowed to tell you, are they? They can't say it's no. Sharpcock. That's very similar. I would imagine. The pace of play maybe is similar, but I don't play either. I do play cribbage though.
I did too. That was great.
The cribbage days of our lives.
Yeah,
Cribbage, yeah.
we always played on the terrace in America.
We did on the deck. It's called
On the
on the
deck
deck.
with a bottle of Paul Masson.
Paul Masson's brandy, the cheapest brandy we could get, wasn't it? It was super. We guzzled that bottle wise, didn't we? Oh my god! And this is the. I don't know whether I want to show this because it's dirty, but this is the cribbage board that my dad made when he was working up in Llanberis. He took a piece of slate home and carved it and drilled it into a cribbage board. Heavy. There you go. We use it now for weighing down the napkins. My poor old dad and my poor old mum and your poor old dad, they're all dropping like flies, aren't they, these days?
Yeah, but why do you think they're poor? They might have the time of their life.
All right, they're going to be in paradise now, aren't they? Just another day in paradise. And that is the theme of today's balcony banter, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of. We're living in paradise here.
We're living in paradise. I just want to find out. Look at the comments. Was it the comment? Yeah, it was the comment. And just say, I have responded. Interesting guy, did that one. Congratulations, did that one. I'm going through to find out. Andy, wasn't Andy? Ah, there we go. Alexis. Let me get this right. Alexis Lefrancois. Hi, Tim. Enjoyed the video as always. Was wondering if you've ever done a video about the pros and cons of living in Tenerife. Would love to hear you talk about it. And I replied, great idea. We'll discuss this on Wednesday in Balcony Banter. So, Alexis, are you on? I'm going to search for your comment here. ALEX. No, no Alexis on at the moment. We do have 108 comments though. 99 of them are saying hi, Anne and David, but there you go. Let me see where we need. Simon Marks is on. Oh, we went all the way back to the beginning. Okay, let's get down to the bottom. Hi everyone. Jeff, Anne, Trevor, we did that one. Christina, we did that one. Diane's on. Hello, Diane. How are you? From Lost Chris Boardwalk. There you go. Evening, Tim and Christine. Everyone says Tina Rigby. Trevor was very interesting tonight. He was. Glenn Smith. Hi, you both. Looking, could you please say hello to my mother-in-law, Karen, as she always watches you. Hello, mother-in-law, Karen.
Hello, Karen.
Cool dude. And I'm so happy I met you. You talking to me now? Evening, Anne. There you go. Yeah. I'll just take it as me. Hi, Tricia. Oh, I tried to look, Tricia, when I couldn't look at the, what's it called, the sign on the Reveron Plaza. So I don't know when it's going to reopen, but I'll find out. It says copy text. I want to copy text. Sipping on red wine. Oh, yeah. We've got some German beer in the fridge, haven't we?
And I even got a beer virtual from my cousin.
Yeah, Margaret. She watches as well, don't you? Servus, Margaret.
If you're
And Laura.
watching, vielen Dank.
You ever played cribbage on it, Tim? Yep, we used to use this all the time, didn't we?
Yeah.
We used to use it all the time. Then I bought a special rosewood one from, where was it? From India. I got a rosewood one from India.
But that's a bit too complicated.
No, because it goes round like that, doesn't it? It doesn't go up, down, and up. Yeah, it goes round like 121. You ever played on it? Great topic. Evening. Big hello for Tim and Christina Diane. Thank you very much. Sarah Charles, hope you get the 9K soon. Thank you. As I say, Lee's doing me a great favour in pushing it, but sometimes I get people and they subscribe and they never watch. But I'd much prefer you watching the stuff, so that's pretty cool. So what are we going to do here? Are we going to let's get Christina a little bit bigger there. There you go. That's better.
Still bigger.
No, it was just that we had this. Oh, I know what it is. That's what happened. I've actually changed this thing. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's get this. Let's take the zoom off that. I've got to unlock it first. Unlock. Take the zoom off. There you go. And then we can lock it again. Where are we? Two's up. Bang. That was it. Because when I'm doing the comments, you're the right size, and then I'm going to move to twos up. You were too close, but now it's perfect. So got a random comment up. Having herbal tea, says Reality. There you go, cool dude, and it will disappear automatically very soon. Having herbal tea. So let's get rid of this. So for those who just joined us, you are watching Balcony Banter. And we're back in the room. And so today's topic is the pros and cons of living in Tenerife. And Christina, first of all, what would you say the biggest pro is? Fat fingers. Fat fingers. What is the biggest pro?
The weather.
The weather. Everybody says the weather, and I agree. And it's not because it's sunny, it's because it's constant, isn't it?
Yes.
It doesn't fluctuate like it does in other countries. So you get really constant weather here, and it sort of goes up and down gradually. I mean, it could be that sometimes you're a bit grey and sometimes you're full sun, but the ambient air is very similar every day, isn't it? It's sort of like
Especially here in the shade.
Especially in the shade. So when I say it's 20 degrees in the shade, I'm measuring the ambient air. Now this has been in the sun, but I think it's cooled down again now. I got to get a better one than this. This is 26 degrees in the shade, and we do have a bit of wind up here. But what I found out was, let me get back on here. What I found out was that when we go down the bottom, it's warmer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in the pool area, it's 2 or 3 degrees warmer, and down in the village is 2 or 3 degrees warmer. So we have it perfect up here because we're above all the other buildings in the area. So we get a nice breeze. That means in the summer, when everybody else is gasping and saying air conditioning, then we just open the doors and it blows straight through, doesn't it? We've got a wraparound balcony, and we got the front door, if you like. The balcony door to the living room, and I can open this door and the door behind Chris. So there's 3 external doors, and it just blows whichever way the wind's blowing, it blows through. So that's pretty cool.
So I even got a bit cold the other night.
It did.
We had all the doors open.
Yeah, you'll not believe it, but I think that maybe my hip is something that maybe I've been sleeping in a draft, or a draft, as we would say, a draft. Oh, we got some big comments coming in. Hang on. So we got Alan in Valley San Lorenzo. Lack of attractive countryside. North is slightly better than the south. Greener, pro climate. 10 months of the year. July, August can be uncomfortable. You're right. I mean, the lack of the country in the south here, we are a desert. So if you have what's the word? I can't think of the word, but I'm going to use it anyway. No, I can't think of it. If you go from standpunkt, if you go from the standpunkt in English,
in Spanish.
that's terrible. I got to do German. Oh my God, German standpunkt. position. If you come from the position that we live in a desert, then we are in an oasis in the desert because there is a little bit of greenery and plants and palm trees and stuff. So you're right in that sense of the word that there's not a lot of sort of rolling countryside, if you like. Not here in the south, anyway. The north is more rainforesty, I would say.
Yeah.
More rainforesty. It's quite nice. I've never been to the Anaga Mountains, but I believe that's very nice as well.
Look, it's beautiful in the north, but it just won't be for me.
No, because first of all,
No
you can't see.
places for me, just.
Yeah, and it's getting better. I mean, I must admit, Puerto de la Cruz has got better
Yeah.
since we moved here. And when we first went to Puerto de la Cruz, that was the worst bit, wasn't it? You couldn't
Yeah.
use any of the restaurants because none of them had disabled toilets, and most of the um, paths were too narrow, or there was curbs each side, and people were
Yeah.
parking on them as well, so you couldn't get past because the cars were parking all over the way. Because there's a great parking problem up there. We didn't. We went to La Laguna. That was quite nice, but that because that's in the middle. There's quite a lot of pedestrianised areas. So I would say a pro here is if you want a different scenery, you can get it within the hour, so you don't have to travel far to get lots of different types of things. That's a pro. So if you want culture and a slightly different climate, you're only half an hour or an hour away from a different climate and a different culture. If you want party and nightlife, you got that. If you want museums and concerts, you got that. If you want shopping in little streets, you can go up to the capital. If you're not shopping in malls, you can. There's plenty of malls that are springing up now. Um, we have a fantastic maritime walkway here to walk along, and as soon as it's finished from here to Playa Paraíso, that'd be a great walk for us, wouldn't it? We just walk down, or we could walk up through the banana plantation, go down to the maritime walkway, walk round, and that'll be a good hour's walk for us. A good hour. So let's see what you guys are saying. Big hugs and kisses from Puerto de la Cruz, says Carlos Vallejo. Cool dude. Wish you was young, Craig. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, says Diane. QQ, you've lived in many places, Tim. Is Tenerife your favourite? Tina Rigby. Good question. Good question. No, but for different reasons. Tenerife is my favourite now, right? Because this is what we need right now. But my actual favourite place to live was Richmond, Virginia, America.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be nice.
It wouldn't be nice now, no. But I mean, at the time, I think we've got to look at it for where were we. So we were in an old building in Regensburg when we first got married, weren't we?
Yeah.
In a flat with lots of stairs, and then you got pregnant, and we had the baby, and it just wasn't good with the kid and the crowd and all that stuff, and the road was there. It was great when you're single and you just want to pop out and go to a Greek or downtown for a drink and stumble home. We weren't in the middle of town, so it wasn't expensive in Regensburg, in Bavaria. This is now. And then what happened? We decided to move out to the suburbs nearer to my work, didn't we? And that really broke us because it was very expensive out there, wasn't it?
Very.
And it was a nice place to live.
Expensive than the old flat.
Yeah, yeah. So when we went from there to America, we were in a flat that was very expensive, and I was earning good money, but I wasn't earning fantastic money. And then when we went to America, everything was new, and we were earning a lot more money, and we had a massive house with garden front and back and an 8-meter deck. And so that, to me, was the epitome of we didn't have to worry about money. There was plenty to do. There was brand new sights, sounds, smells, experiences. So that 5 years, I think it was 4.5 years, wasn't it? In America, that was my favorite part of living where I was living. Coming back to buying the house in Regensburg, that was great because the first house we bought together, wasn't it? And but I think favorite place, that would be my favorite place to look back on. But this is exactly what we need now.
That's right.
Yeah, I couldn't afford to live anywhere else, really. I can't afford to move back to Germany
No,
because then all our
that's
pension would
beautiful.
go on rent and food and petrol, wouldn't it?
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, we would get blind money, wouldn't we?
Yeah, no, that we would get.
Yeah, if we moved back to Bavaria, Chris would be eligible for Blindgeld, so blind money.
Bavaria is the only
It's
state.
the only state in Germany that pays it, yeah. Yeah. Blind money. And it's not to be sneezed at, it's €500, isn't it? So that would probably pay half the rent. But then the disadvantage then would be the fluctuation in the weather
Yeah,
and the 6-week summer,
and
12-week winter,
and the AFD.
and the AFT. No politics. We promise no politics.
Well, it's all getting a bit
Eh,
right-wing.
Don't forget, we are accepting guests tonight, so go to timothydad.com/live. It's not open yet, but if you want to go in and read out how to do that or how to get on, you can do it by using your phone, or just hold it sideways when you come in, or a tablet, or a computer with a camera, and you can come in. Just make sure that there's either an interesting background or no light behind you, no big shining bright light behind you. And if you've got earphones and a microphone, that's great. If you don't, that's also okay. But try if you can get your pods in, whatever they call them, ear pods, the old ear pods. And you can also see where we're going to be, timothydad.com/events. There are no events at the moment for Freaky Friday or Meetup Monday because I'm going to do them when I decide where I'm going to be. So it's not one of these repeating events that you can book well in advance because I don't know where I'm going to be. But we will be using timothydad.com/events to inform you. Plus, I'll put a community post up on the community page. Plus, it'll be in the Facebook or something like that. I'll do Facebook and Instagram. Well, not just Facebook, I think. That's Living with MS in Tenerife on Facebook, Facebook, as they say. Right, so Manu did that. Did you get the Guinness Zero? I did, but I've left it in the car. It was nice and cold. Gordon did it nice and cold. I don't think it's probably heated up by now. But we're not having that tonight. We've decided to have that tomorrow, haven't we? What can we have with Guinness? What would you have with Guinness? Meat potato pie or something like that? Or yeah, we'll see what, because I want to have it with a meal. I don't want to just
Yeah.
drink it. I want to have it with a meal. And
Will I get one too?
no, well, it depends. Of course you do. He brought two. Why would he bring two?
Because you have two normally.
Oh, right. So it's two for me, is it? No, definitely one each. Because the thing is,
Yeah.
if I like it, right, I'll make a double effort to go and find it on the island. But I don't think it is. I've looked in supermarkets, it ain't there. I'll tell you where I've not been is the cash and carry in Adeje, the Spanish style cash and carry. We got a cash and carry Spanish style where you got to ring the bell to get in, and it's designed for businesses to go to, but they'll serve anybody once you're in. And opposite that, there's Macro, but I've been in there. They didn't have it the last time I looked. So, but it'd be interesting to know if it tastes great, as Gordon says, then we're going to go for it.
Yeah.
Alan, evening. Cons dangerous roads driving, yeah. Spanish rip-off banks. Actually, we're with Sabadell and they don't charge us. They don't charge us a
Yeah.
penny. As long as you put in your pension in, they don't charge us a penny. So the bank's not too bad for us. Painfully slow bureaucracy, hospitals, ambulance, excessive charges, rising high rental prices. Now that is a con, the rising high rental prices. But they are trying to change that by disallowing people who rent out illegally. So they'll probably, well, what they say is if they clamp down on illegal rents, then there will be more available for long-term rents, which will bring down the price of the rents. I don't see that happening. I think once the rents are up, people are used to it. And the thing is, if you can't rent something out and then you've got to offer it at a lower price, then what are the people going to do like us, where the rent's already been hiked as high as it can go? Yeah, maybe we just get a reprieve that it doesn't go up anymore, but it'll never come down, will it? It'll never come down. Cool, dude. I'm going backwards here in case I missed. Jack Bell's on. Sarah Charles did that. Diane, big hello. Okay, I think we're caught up with that. Let's go down. Carlos. Alison Lorenzo. Richard Walton's on. Pro for me is the cost of the groceries in supermarkets. Okay, yeah. Thrift shops need a big improvement. Position. That's right. Thank you. David, Pam, talking amongst themselves. David. So Truton, Garachico in the north, says Sarah Charles. I've never actually been there. My brother's been on a day trip, but I've never actually been to Garachico. We don't go sightseeing because Chris can't see very well. And so sightseeing is like double whammy, isn't it? You can go to sitting in a box and being shaken, but you
A
can't.
lot of people most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
which is always a stress for me.
And Siobhan saying, "Always struck by the value and quality of the groceries compared to Ireland." What I've noticed is a lot of people. There's no sort of. There's a lot more meals now that you can buy that are like packet meals. But when we first came here, they didn't used to be that. You went and bought your meat at the butcher's, your veg and stuff at the fruiteria, and then you went to the supermarket for your milk, butter, cheese, water, and tins of stuff. And we didn't really get a lot of tins. It was mostly tin tomatoes, tin fruits, maybe, stuff like that, and jars. Like chickpeas, beans, and the like. So you can actually have a great diet here, reasonably cheap, can't you? Although I have been monitoring the supermarket prices because now I get my supermarket tab sent to the phone. They want to go paperless, so I just beep, pay with the card, and I get the receipt on my phone. And coffee has went from 320 to 420 within 6 weeks. Olive oil obviously went up everywhere, but it seemed to have dragged other things up as well. And the only thing that's staying is like staples like milk and butter and bread and cheese and stuff like that. Yeah, not so much cheese, but the bread and that. So, and I think, but that's the government putting a foot down as well. That staple food like rice, bread, eggs, they've got to stay the same. But all the other stuff's gone up and gone up drastically. And I don't know where the money's going because the people working in the supermarkets aren't getting paid more. So I want to know who's making all the money. I want to know who's making all the money. Roger Channing is on. Evening, Tim Casino. Hope you're both well. We are. Gordon Duncan. Remember to share Guinness with the boss. Yeah. Everyone. David Butler. Holiday Philosopher is on. Thomas. The climate, the cost of living, nature, the sea. All of this keeps me coming back. People are much more relaxed.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
People are really friendly and also stressed and not.
Mm. And Diane saying Richmond, Virginia is a great place and property is very reasonable. We rented a house in Glen Allen, didn't we?
First,
We rented a house and then we bought it off the guy. And I can't remember I think we bought it for $155,000 and we sold it 4.5 years later for $180,000. So that wasn't too bad. Made a profit on that.
when we bought it,
Hey?
when we bought it, mortgage was cheaper than the rent.
Yeah, we're paying $1,200 a month rent, and when we bought it, we 100% mortgage, and we got it through the company.
Yeah,
We had 100% mortgage, and they did it as if we were paying it off over 30 years, but the mortgage actually only ran for 5, didn't it? Then on the 6th year, you had a balloon payment, but we went home before that.
It'll be better.
It was 1,200 for the
Calvin
rent,
for
and
the
it was
company.
780 the mortgage repayment, wasn't it, on the loan? There you go. And I got $100 off George W. Bush, didn't I? And I said, I'm keeping that check. I'm going to frame it. And you said, no, cash it. So we cashed it. Hi Dave, got your message. Cool dude. Angry Velo. When do you eventually move to Tenerife? Oh, when I do eventually move to Tenerife, I will live in Park Santiago 4, but I don't see that as a long-term thing. I think being around the tourists every day may be a bit too much. You know, if you're living there and your neighbors change every week and you've got, yeah, you're right. It's and also you're living in the most expensive bit, so you got to travel a lot further to go shopping to get the reasonable prices, and then that probably cuts in with your petrol and stuff. So yeah, if you've got a holiday let, then what I would personally do is I'd just rent another place off somebody else for a reasonable rent, long term, and get the income of the rental property to pay your rent and your food, and then you don't have to touch your pension. In fact, you could move over tomorrow. You know, a lot of people think, what do you need to live over here, right? And if you're going partying every night, and
You need a lot.
you need a lot of money. But basically, if you just want to live here as if you were living in, I don't know, Scunthorpe or, you know, Bury or Wapping, then what do? You get up in the morning and you sit on your balcony and enjoy the view. Then you walk down to the shops, you get yourself a piece of fish or a piece of meat, a couple of vegetables, you come back and you cook. Bottle of wine for 250. Job's a good one. So you can actually live really, really cheaply here. So rent out your property, use the money from your property to rent a place up in the hills or up the coast a bit cheaper, and use the rest of the money to buy your sausage, egg, and chips. In fact, if you go out and you buy onions, celery, carrots, potatoes, milk, butter, a tin of chickpeas, or a glass of chickpeas, a jar of lentils, some feta cheese, some salad, and a bag of spinach, a punnet of strawberries, bunch of bananas, a jar of pickles, a jar of tomato puree, so passata, some flour, butter, I've said, cuddly toy. Then basically you could make meals for a week. Oh, and bread, yogurt. You could make meals for a week. You know, do a vegetable curry, a fried cheese, egg and chips, salad sandwich. Get some sardines, a bit of tuna. Tuna's really good. And then 2 or 3 times a week, get yourself a fresh meat, a fresh fish, or whatever you need. You know, as long as you're not sort of saying, "Oh, we've got to go out and enjoy ourselves," you can enjoy yourselves as long as you get a place with lots of outside space, a reasonable view. You know, something freeing. You don't have smokers and barking home alone dogs. I got nothing against dogs, but dogs in small apartments that bark all day because the owners are away, that annoys me. And people who smoke underneath us and then. So as long as you don't have that, you're okay. So that's really an advantage, is that you can live here and you don't want for anything, because if you want to go out, you can just get up and go out. You know, you don't have to worry, oh, is it snowing? Is it raining? Is it over? Shall I take a brolly with me? You want to go out, you just go out, and you can live and love here for nothing, cheap, you know. And if you are going out, as long as you're not in the big, you know, the ghetto, then you can get a reasonable um, dinner out for a tenner, you know, glass of wine, bowl of, was it cocido? or a few tappers. So if you want to go out and eat, you can, and you're not breaking the bank. As long as you don't go to a tourist trap, you're okay. Okay, hi Gordon. Favorite place was Brooklyn, New York. Gordon, thanks. Richard, the Fiestas and Carnival are fantastic and free, and also great bus service to get to them. That's true. There are lots of fiestas in the little villages. I think they've either had one or they're having one in Arminimi soon because they got bunting up. Again, Chris doesn't go because we can't really see much, can we? And if it's a crowds, then she's just arse height, aren't you?
Yep.
But there you go. France and Germany are slowly becoming more right wing than anyone expected. That's also true. That is also true. The weather must be a big factor. I love many things about living in England, but the weather isn't one of them, says Tina. You know, when I lived in England, I was a teenager, and I mean, to me, it's the shortest part of my life because I didn't remember anything until I was about 8, you know. So from 8 to 17 is when I lived in England. So I don't really have a connection to England apart from school days and my first job. So the next 10 years then was Wales, which was I was on a beach. I was in Picpelly, so I was lived in a holiday area, and all I had to do was feed myself. I didn't even have to do that because I just go to my mum's house and she'd feed me. You know, in fact, I was living in my mum's house. But yeah, so I don't really have. I mean, I like to live. I like living in Wales because I was a young man. You know, as you always remember your young man days, not you, and you're growing up and stuff. So I don't really have an affinity to Wales either. So the longest I've lived really is 25 years in Germany, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't miss that at all. I miss the some of the food and some of the ease of getting the German beer. But yeah, America, as I said, it was lots of money, spacious, golf, and we did a lot there. And I had an
Uh,
interesting job as well. But
and
here,
me still being able to do all the stuff.
right, yeah, you had your own car
Yeah,
and you could get out and about without me. It must
right.
be terrible for you actually that you sort of you can't just sort of say, Tim, I'm going, I'm going downtown. Yeah.
Yeah, get used to it, but
What I could do is I could take you downtown and leave you somewhere,
mm,
and you could have a wander around.
and comes a big dog poop where I drive right
Oh, we
with.
saw a big dog poop in Los Cristianos today. They're doing a drive now of finding people that don't pick up the dog poop, and
Yeah,
they've got this cartoon piece of crap on a podium with things around it telling you that the fine is between 500 and 10,000 euros for pooping on there. I don't know where the dog's going to get that money from. Yeah. So what we'll have to do is to invent dog nappies. Yeah. You've been dog napped.
you can.
I'm thinking about moving to Brooklyn, Italy, or Tenerife. So pros and cons of Italy is families there, Diane, yeah. Brooklyn, I think you'd have to have a lot of money to live there. And Tenerife,
Might be trampolines again.
don't start that, don't start that. Steak and Guinness pie is nice. I'll have to watch this on catch up since my son and I want to go for dinner. See you, Diane. I'll catch up. And we're back in the room. Gordon, one each. This is the bit where we're saying two for me. Tina, Diane, must be nice to have such a choice of places. We're restricted after Brexit. Yeah, Diane's got an Irish passport, so that's she's easy. She can live in Europe or in America. Enjoy your evening. Everything's right down. Billy's camera. Hello all. You and Chris stay where you are. Good weather, not to be sniffed at. Exactly right. Exactly right. Tenerife stopped all the Airbnbs, and unscrupulous owners offering holiday lets when they are not VV would be more long term for the people to afford. We were just talking about that, and they do reckon it's going to increase the stock of long-term rents by 30%, but that's Spain as a whole. I think here people would just go the extra mile and turn it into an UVA, vivienda vacacional. So I think clamping down's a good thing, but I don't think it's going to have the effect that they want here. In Spain overall, it probably will, but not here. Just my view. Just my view. Hello, Tim and Christina says, the Lord. Nothing worse than a sore back, that's true. Acupuncture, Anne. Oh, dear. Rob, I think Christina, most interesting one question. Where were you from the UK? From sunny Dorset, cost of living is the hardest thing in the UK. I was born in Salford, in Earlham, in Salford, Manchester. And I grew up in Unsworth, Whitefield, Prestwich, northern Manchester. And then I'm 77, I moved to Wales, to Pwllheli. And 88, I went to college, or 87, I went to college on D side, so just over in the on the Welsh side from the Wirral. And in 89, I went to Germany. So, and I went to Germany till 1997. Then from 97 to 2001, we're in America. Then 2014, we came here. And we've been here exactly 10 years this month. Just had the 10-year anniversary just before Christina's 60th birthday. Always feel much better in Tenerife with the climate and atmosphere. You know, you're right. It is the climate and the atmosphere that makes people feel good here. Also the air, as long as there's not a Kalima. And I think the pace is a lot slower here. But once you live here and you've got to go through, as Alan was saying, you've got to go through the rigmarole of getting doctors and bureaucracies and case in point, right? Christina and I are now in receipt of a German pension. So we got our letters today saying the German pension is going up with inflation. So we had a rise. Yay. But you have to do your proof of life. And we went online to do the proof of life. I had to do mine 4 times because they said we can't see the special characters in your passport and all that, you see. Anyway, it went through, so I'm done. Did Christina's, and her passport ran out in May. So now we said, oh, we need a new passport. So for me, it would be stand against a blank wall, take a photo, pay 90 quid, and 2 weeks later I get my passport, right? For the Germans, we've got to fly to Gran Canaria and present ourselves physically there. And I said, well, my wife's too ill, she can't fly to Gran Canaria unless we could get the ferry maybe and spend a couple of days there. But that's like another 200 or 300 euros on top of the new passport. And so they said, oh, well, you can go to the German consul. So now we got to go to the German consul. So I've called them up. They said, yeah, we got an appointment for you. It's the 10th of September. So we got an appointment on the 10th of September to go to the consul. And I don't even know whether we're going to get it on that day. All right. And all the stuff we've got to take with us is going to the Spanish places and getting a copy of the NIE, a copy of the Padrón, yeah, and Padronamiento, your original birth certificates, your original marriage certificate, all this crap you got to get. And I've got to have a lock of my daughter's hair, and no, that's not. So yeah, there's a lot of things you got to jump through here to do that. Although a lot of other stuff is quite easy, isn't it? It's quite easy. Is anybody waiting? Let's open up the guests. If somebody comes on, there's your earphones, Chris. But we are open now for business. If you want to come in and have a chat, I'll carry on reading these.
Oh, they're plugged in already.
Yeah, they're all plugged in already. Anne-Marie, reminder, hit the thumbs up. Gideon, hi Tim, just joining. Barada, or Pronounda, sorry, Pronounda. Rob, do they pay full state pension if you move to Tenerife? Anywhere in Europe, it's exactly the same as if you were living in Germany. And the state is slightly different in Germany because you pay an insurance, a pension insurance out of your wages. So it's not basically the state giving you money. You're just claiming on your insurance that you've paid in. So therefore, you get out pro rata to what you paid in. So if you're on a good wage, you get a good pension. So it's not like in Britain where everybody gets the same. You pay your percentage of your wages during your working life into the system, and that's converted to points with a factor, you know, that basically factors in the cost of living, blah 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 blah. So they, when you go to retire, they say it's going to be between this and this, depending on certain inflationary things or whatever. So mine's not too bad actually. I only paid in for 25 years, whereas most people would pay in for 40 years. So I paid in for 25 years, and my pension is still 1,500 euros. Yeah. So it's a pretty good pension because I paid a lot in. So and they pay it anywhere in Europe. Or they pay it anywhere in the world, but I think you don't get the inflation raise if you're outside of Europe, I don't think. That was one of the reasons we picked Tenerife, because we were looking at islands and constant temperatures all over the world where to go to. And because this is still Europe, that was one of the things that was attractive
Right,
here, wasn't it?
because Stephanie come here.
And obviously 4-hour flight instead of like 15 hours going somewhere else. I would like to go to mainland China myself.
Economicon is the post.
The post office. The post office and delivering letters. I mean, the people are really, really good. I mean, they do deliver the letters and stuff, but it's so slow. It is so slow. And Amazon. So if you're buying stuff online, it's none of the electronic stuff that I'm interested in you can get on Amazon because they just don't deliver here. You put in your zip code or your postcode here, and it just says we don't deliver there. Not like it's hard to deliver or it's extra money. So we don't do it. And it's mainly because the island, although it's in the EU, it has its own tax regime, right? So we have a preferred tax area. So everything's got to go through customs. So all the companies that deliver here have to export the goods. They can't just mail it to you. They have to export the goods with all the stuff that goes with it. And especially electronic companies are just saying, no, we're not bothered. We don't make enough money on them to put in the extra thing, and we're not going to charge you because it's going to be, you're just not going to buy it. So Graham's saying, ironically, that's exactly what my financial advisor said to do. Keep the holiday let running, rent elsewhere. If I end up not enjoying staying full time in Tenerife, it's easy to move back. That's also true. Although if you're moving here, I do recommend that you go the whole hog, because I've seen people half move, right? And then they all start saying, "Oh, it's not like home. It's not like at home." Yeah, and they end up just going. They end up going back. They if you don't commit to the move, then
make it home.
and make it home. Yeah, and especially if you don't learn the language, that's a big issue here. You're really stuck in a ghetto if you don't learn the language. And if you do need to go to the police, the doctors, or the town hall or anything like that, you've got to take somebody with you as a translator, so you end up being a sort of a second class citizen. You feel like a second class citizen. Not that they treat you badly, but it's, you imagine, I think a lot of people say that the government in Britain is fantastic because it does all languages. They'll talk to you in any language you want. In Spain, they talk to you in Spanish, and it's up to you then to get a translator. Even though a lot of people do speak English, they say no. If you go to the government stuff, you've got to do your business in the local language. So that's another. You've got to commit to it. I think you've got to commit to the move.
But if your Spanish is not really good, they're very helpful if they see you try.
If you go in and say don't speak the lingo, they'll say go and get a translator. But if you go in and you try to speak Spanish, then they will really help you out. You know, I mean, it's I've been in places where I think it was getting when you were getting your disabled parking badge, yeah, and the guy says, "If you don't speak Spanish, get out." And I said, "How am I ever going to learn?" And it sort of turned the light on, and then we went in, didn't we? And we struggled through it. Eventually, the doctor, he was talking Spanish, and I was answering. He says, "No, I want to talk to you." I said, "Well, she's deaf, and you know, her spoken Spanish isn't as good." And then he said, "Let's do it in English then," didn't he? He did the interview in English. That was for the psychological interview to get your 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 thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As if we're trying to get something. And the thing is, the disabled badge here, you can't park anywhere you like in Britain. You can only park in the disabled bays, can't you? Like you can't park on a double yellow line or anything like that. Okay, Alan Shepherd, it's all about using your loaf and live the way you do at home. That's true, because it is home. We have gone to the gluten-free due to Carl's acid reflux. Been on it a week now. Well, that's helping. I agree, Alan. People do feel better on the island. Exactly. And Moreno Cubanito, what's the best source to find a rental long term? I would have said 10 years ago, I would have said Idealista and Piso.com and all those places. But now it's who you know. So what I would do is if you're on the island and you're looking for long term, go around, look at a place that you might like, and then knock on a door and say, do anybody? I mean, it really is a premium at the moment. It really is a premium. So online, um, you're just getting silly offers now. I mean, especially on Facebook. They say, oh, nice townhouse in Del Duc for rent, 2,800 a month. Who can afford that? You know, stupid. But Idealista or Piso.com or something like that. But the best thing is vitamin B, Beziehung. Go and knock on a door of a complex and ask to see the local representative and see if there's anything coming up. Because most people who are getting long-term lets here are being recommended from people who already live on the complex, or somebody hears something and they tell a mate. So it's all gone by the time people who don't know. Yeah. Especially if you're this side of the motorway. If you're up in the hills, then Idealista, Piso.com is another one. I'll see if I can find a list of them and stick it in the description later. Simon says, please could you explain the 90-day, 180-day rule? Does this mean over 365 days you can spend up to 6 months in Tenerife on a UK passport? It's quite simple, but you've got to get your head round a rolling. It's the rolling dates. So basically, what you have to do is you can only stay 90 days in the last 180. So if you say, I want to go to Spain on the 1st of September, right? So you know your entry date. So you've got to look back from the 1st of September, 6 months or 180 days, and count out all the times that you've been in the Schengen area, not just Tenerife, anywhere in the Schengen area. So France, if you went for a day trip to France, or if you went to watch the football in Germany, something like that. You count up all the days that you were in Europe, right? I think, no, this is only for Schengen, so it does, Ireland's not included. So if you're arriving on the 1st of September, you've got to come all the way back and find out how many days in the last 6 months from when you arrived have you been in Europe. And if it's less than 90 days, then you're okay. Then you look at the date that you want to leave, which let's say it's 2 weeks later, and you do the same thing. And as long as in those two dates, those 6 months, right, and 6 months minus 2 weeks, as long as you haven't done 90 days there, then you can come. So it's sort of rolling. And as the days drop off, as the days go on, if you understand, you get more. So let's assume you've already spent 90 days here, and it's the 31st of August, okay? And you've already spent 90 days. And but the 90 days were right at the back end of 6 months. So that it was the first 3 months. Then as soon as you go to 1st of September, 1 day drops off the back, so you're allowed a day. I'm making it too complicated. I'm making it too complicated. The simple thing is, look at the end date when you leave from your holiday backwards, and if you're less than 90 days, you're okay. If you're more than 90 days, you can't do it. That's the easiest, isn't it? Look at the day that you leave Europe and go back home. In the 6 months prior, I've just confused everybody now, including myself. I apologize. There is actually a calculator online you can go to called, I think it's the Schengen calculator. Schengen calculator. Let me just see if we can get it. And you put in your dates and it'll tell you. Peace and Justice Project, that's not it. So Schengen calculator. SCHENGEN calculator. Schengen visa calculator. Here we go. Agree and proceed. In compliance with the Schengen regulations, non-EEA nationals are restricted to a maximum of 90 days within a continuous 180-day period. And how is the use the calculator? You do an entry date, an exit date, a duration, and days of stay in the last 980 days, and the last day to stay, and then calculate. So the date you enter the Schengen area, the day you exit the Schengen zone. Why did they use two different words? I don't know. The number of days you have stayed. This is even more confusing. And the days of stay in the last 180 days on the Schengen zone, and the last day to stay on the Schengen zone. Schengenvisa.info. That's even more complicated, but you can put it in there. Click starts, read more. The calculator is a helping tool, doesn't have the right. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, do that. I'd love to live where it's warm, just waiting to win the lotto. You don't have to win the lotto. What you have to do is you have to count up all your assets. So your fixed assets that you can sell and get rid of to get cash, and also your earning capacity. You bring your earning capacity together. And I reckon that you would need now to live here an income of around about 2,500 a month, maybe 3,000 a month. The hardest part of doing it is getting the visa, because the visa requirements, you have to have a lot more than that if you're not European. So actually living here, the cost of living, if you qualify for the visa, then you can live here no problem, because that automatically allows you the amount of money that you need to live here very comfortably. So that's the hardest one. But if you can get an Irish passport or something like that, then you don't really need a lot to live here. You don't have to have 80 grand in the bank or anything like that. Edinburgh Beyond, hit the thumbs up. Does Christine get homesick for Germany? Do you get homesick for
No,
Germany? Not at all?
not at all.
No. Maybe they can hear you better if we hold that now.
Especially since my dad has died.
That's true. He died last year, didn't he? About a year ago.
Yeah.
I'm just checking to see we're all right. Say something again.
Hello.
That's perfect. What do you miss from Germany?
Rivers. I miss rivers.
Rivers. That's true.
Like the Danube and
We used to live on the Danube, didn't we?
yeah.
Mary O'Donnell saying Irish stew and Guinness. There you go. That's some Irish stew. It's too hot to have Irish stew, I think. Evening, Michael. John Patton, good evening. Mary Alty, Michelle T's on. Hi, Mary from Alan. Denise Pearson's on. We had an amazing day in a beautiful La Palma to see the volcanic pattern. It's breaking, plus it's still smoking. My golly gosh. I've been to La Palma.
Oh,
Hope you
In
are feeling
Italy, there is a volcano that erupted the other day.
David Butler. Hi guys, always watch first time to comment. Cool dude. Mary, welcome. Simon Farrant just uploaded, not seen him for a while. That's cool dude. I mean, a lot of people have been watching my stuff, and I'm doing the same thing over and over again, aren't I? So a lot of people are getting bored with it. And most of you guys that come on live, and we've got, how many people we got on live at the moment? There we go. 94 people watching, which is good for balcony banter, isn't it? 94 people. You guys are like the core of the community, and basically you're coming on to talk to each other as much as it is to talk to us, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So I think that's good. A view from me. Evening, Tim. Hope you're well from La Palma. Oh, cool, dude. You're still there. Okay. Palma is on our bucket list. Evening, Tim. North Tenerife vlogs and a view from me. The vlog's coming soon. Stunning place. So I want pictures of smoking lava, please. We'll be dropping some TikTok soon. Stunning locations. Cool, dude. Happy birthday to Scott. Only 37 today. There you go.
Whoa.
Half yours. Sounds good, Scott. Michelle, view from me. Appreciate it. David Lamb must eventually come to La Palma, surely the most beautiful of the islands. I heard that. I heard that La Palma was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's for you, it would be a waste of time though, wouldn't it, really? Not being able to see much. And you'd have to go on a ferry. Happy birthday, Scott. There we go. Got to go. See you, Tina. Denise Pearson had a 30-minute flight, and we got a high car for 14 euros. Gone around the island. You flew from the north. Okay, that's cool. Do you fly from north or south, Denise? Less than train price in London for New York. You get one way for 25 euros. Denise, you're did you get the 50% discount, the inter-island 50% discount for residents? The Scotsman in Tenerife, pros is the heat, cons too hot. For Scottish guys. Cool dude. Cool dude. Can I turn the times on to find out when people have actually commented? Because I think I'm way behind here. I have a theory about the 90-day rule, but I can't risk testing it. Yeah, basically the 90-day rule, if you break the 90-day rule, then I think they're not going to do anything until they finished ETIAS. So ETIAS is the electronic travel system that is being introduced to Europe. And I think the 90-day rule, they're doing the stamping and stuff, but nobody's checking anything at the moment. So I think if you were to have an infraction, then I don't think anything's going to happen at the moment, right? But as soon as the electronic visa comes in, then it'll just be automatic. You know, you go beep, sorry, you've got an overstay. So you're right, Kevin. If that's your theory, I don't think they have the resources, the time, or the energy to enforce it at the moment for Brits. I think they will enforce it for people that always had to do that, you know, from other countries, and especially if your complexion's a little bit darker than mine. I think they'll look into that. But for Brits, I think they don't have the resources to do it because there's millions coming over every year. And if you start turning people away, then newspapers will get hold of it. But if it's an electronic computer system that says, computer says no, then they go, oh, sorry, computer says no, you can't come. Thank goodness we can get an Irish passport here, even though we're still British, says Jack. I think if you had an Irish setter once, I think you can get an Irish passport now. You just send them a picture of your Irish setter, and they'll just give you a passport. Joking, Irish people, I'm joking. Simon Marks, it's complicated. Thanks, Tim. I was wondering if it was calculated on January, December basis. No, we'll check out the calculator. Don't go anywhere else. So yeah, just look 6 months backwards. Underwater John says, "Good evening, Vito. I got gout. The pain is absolute madness. Oh, what a shame. Well, that's what I might have. Does gout go in your knee, or is it always in your foot? It's always your foot, I think. Yeah.
I really don't know.
Hope you're both okay. We are both okay. David Butler says, Rob, if a person is Tenerife, do you need a private health insurance or do you get it free like the UK? Rob, very good question. When you come to Tenerife as a foreigner, if you're a European citizen, you just have to register, or everybody has to register, right? So you can come for 90 days and then you have to register. If you are a European and you don't register within the first 30 days, then you are an irregular immigrant. If you are a non-European, you don't register, then you are an illegal immigrant. I think that's the way they look at it. So the way that the health service works, if you pay Social Security or you have a pension from a country that has an agreement with Spain, then you can apply for the blue Social Security card. And the blue Social Security card lets you access free at the point of use any of the services. You go to your GP and they will send you to specialists. You can't go direct to a specialist with the blue card. You've got to go through your GP. A lot of people here have extra private health insurance, especially for dentistry or other things, or hospital stays, or emergencies or whatever. So there is private health insurance. The Pearsons know more about it, but whilst you're applying for the visa from the UK, it's a catch-22 situation. They won't let you on the system until you've arrived, and you can't arrive unless you've got the insurance. But you can't get the insurance because you haven't arrived yet. So I think what you have to do for the first 12 months, you really do need a private health insurance. And the bugbear is the private health insurance has to cover you the same as the Spanish health insurance. That means for pre-existing conditions. So you need to get a pre-existing condition health insurance to get here. Then you can do all the paperwork and either get a job or get a social security number or class your pension as a pension, and then you get the social security. So if you're too young to retire, and if you don't plan on working, then you need private health. You cannot access the social medicine here. But if you are planning on working, and that's hard again for the UK now that we're out of the European Union. But if you do plan on working and you get a job that pays social security, then you can access the health service. I hope that answers your question. Juliane Nendel's on Balcony Banter. If you want to come on and say hi, Juliane, I've opened the room. Just go to timothydown.com/live. I told you La Palma is Isla Bonita. You did. Guten Tag, says Craig. Tricia, hola, Juliane. 3 dots next to live chat on the laptop, then select timestamps off. I can do that, but I'm not looking on the here. I'm looking on my software, and I don't have the 3 dots here. I might have it somewhere in the settings, but I don't want to bugger stuff up. Scotsman says, hi all. I've met people who have went away over, but I don't mention it on videos for obvious reason. That's true. And Underwater John says, what about if we say you are our family? Doesn't work like that, I'm afraid. Doesn't work like that. I'm too young to retire, too old to work. Got that from the Gypsy Souls YouTube channel. There you go. Thank you for your kind answer, says Rob. No problem, my friend. We're actually finished. It's 7:10. That went quick, didn't it? That went
Oh,
really
yes,
quick.
it did.
Let's see. We got 90 people still watching. Controversially, Starmer may well try and renegotiate current Euro deal. You know, it's not up to Starmer; it's up to the European Parliament, and I think that the deal that they would offer would be so detrimental to the UK just to get certain things back on track. I don't think that you, as a population, would go for it. And not only that, but Germany and France are faltering at the moment. Is that the word, faltering? And so I don't know how long the European Union is going to last, to tell you the truth. We might all go back to the way it was. Having said that, if it does go back to the way it was, then it all splits up and everything. Then we go back to the peseta, and then I'll be rich because the conversion rate from D-mark, not D, well, it probably will be D-mark, wouldn't it? The
Yep.
conversion rate from D-mark to peseta is guaranteed to going to be good, isn't it? Never happened. Hey, Paz is on. Up she does. Mark G. Controversy. Oh, yeah. Extra time. Yeah, it is extra time. We're 0-0, so I think we're going to have to finish with penalties. Marie gets some sun with Paz. There he is. You know, when you copy and paste these, Anne, it's really good what you do there. The question mark and the SI is equals, that's your own personal, what's it called, token. So if somebody clicks on that and they go in, then it's your token. They're using your token. So copy up to and not including the question mark when you're doing this, and then you're not giving your token away. Nobody can do anything with your token. It's not like it'll go in your bank account or anything. It's just that if you copy the thing up to not including the question mark and then paste, then people are going on their own tokens. It helps for the analysis of the person you're sending them to, so Paz will know where it's coming from. Otherwise, everybody who clicks on your link says they're coming from Dublin, I think. 91 bus just in. Hey, Ray Duffy. We're just about to finish, Ray. Apologies, because I've got to go and cook. Actually, I'm not cooking tonight. No, I was going to do a pizza. Then I realised that I didn't have any pizza dough left because we've used it all, and I didn't want to start a new one. Then I said I'd do a Spanish omelette, and in the end I just thought I can't be bothered cooking tonight because that you've got to like boil the onions and the potatoes in oil for half an hour. You boil the onions and potatoes for half an hour, and then you take them out and stick them on top of 6 eggs and leave it 20 minutes to seep through with salt and pepper, and then you make the tortilla. So it take nearly an hour to do the Spanish omelette. I mean, they are worth it the way I do it. They are worth it the way I do it. Not like this dry, horrible Spanish omelette you can buy in the supermarket. My Spanish omelettes, and I think Juliane can attest to this. My Spanish omelettes are renowned because I learnt from the best, from a little Spanish guy. He started off, he says, take 1 litre of olive oil and put it in a pan. Thinly slice the potatoes and the onions.
It's gonna be expensive.
No, you put the olive oil back afterwards. You just strain it and put it back. Yeah. But yeah, so you actually boil the potatoes and the onions in the oil. So it's not really well, I mean, it's frying, but it's not like because there's no oxygen involved. It's like a deep fry, but it's not as hot. Anyway, what if I'm your long lost son? Can I say DNA? Underwater, John. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm British, so the only reason I can stay here is because I was here before Brexit, and we came out on the Article 50, which says anybody who's already here can still get the benefits of being a European citizen. That's the only reason I'm here. And
you've got a German wife.
Yeah, but I didn't use that.
Well,
No, because they said I would have to go through the tests again.
okay.
Yeah, if I changed my visa from a Article 50
Mm,
residence permit to a wife of a European Union person.
mm.
I might eventually have to do that because the Article 50 runs out in 2 years. So I've got to change my ausweis, my
I
ID
hate
card.
that. Back home, things stay like they are, but it's everything has to be adult.
I don't know. And the thing is, you've got to have jobs for the boys, haven't you? You've got to have jobs for people. I mean, what I've realised is 99% of office jobs are totally useless. It's just busy work. It's just busy work. You know, the company that I work for didn't die when I left. You know, and they're paying me a fortune a year to sit there and pontificate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there we go. Get some Summit Bars. I'm coming to Tenerife September 21st. Would you like a meetup, Tim? No. And yes, of course. Just go to timothydowd.com/events. Pick a day, go for a walk. James Kerr, really enjoyable vlog, Tim. Wash hands. I will. And Simon Marks, good heads up, Kev. Alan's Homemade Blog, good evening. If you haven't subscribed to Alan's Homemade Blogs, I just want to see. First of all, let's see how many subscribers I've got, because Lee did me a favor today. And I have now got 8,924. Let's have a look to see what Alan's Homemade Blogs has got. Search for, where is he? Alan's Homemade Blog. Here we go. 969. Come on, guys. Go to Alan's Homemade Blogs and subscribe. There's 76 people still watching. If you're not subscribed to Alan, please go. Get him to the 1,000. We've got to get him to the 1,000. Go for it, go for it, go for it. Simon Mark saying, Alan, get some sunlight. Alan, Craig, Alan. James Good, who did that? Underwater John, we did that. We're going to finish. Ladles and jelly spoons.
I just wanted to say one thing.
Go ahead.
It's completely different. It doesn't have to do with the birthday BANTER or anything.
Okay, so this is part 2.
The Queen Camilla has her 77th birthday today.
Really?
And Angela Merkel, the ex-Bundeskanzler, has her 17th birthday today.
So Camilla, Angela Merkel, and Scott Pearson have their birthdays today.
Same day.
Happy birthday, all you right
Happy
people.
birthday.
All you right people. Cheers, Tim. You're very welcome, man. You're very welcome. Go and check WEBBY Sports Roundup as well. Alan's featured on there as well, doing the roving reporter for WEBBY Sports Roundup for the Open, which starts tomorrow. So if you're into golf, get hold of Alan. Go and support him on his channel, and he might get you an interview with a famous guy. Yeah, Tiger Woods. Good night, all, says Magnus. What's the name of Juliane's channel again? It's called Juliane Nendel. Is it? Yeah.
Food for Life.
Now, Food for Thought's the show, but the channel is at Juliane with an E Nendel. Juliane at Juliane Nendel. Have a look in the description of this one, and it's in there. You can just click on it. There you go. See you soon. Nice lighting. So I'm just going to put this on to listen to the music. Do you want to listen to the music?
Yeah.
Going out with a bang. Are you ready, pal? Okay. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening today, and don't forget, we have had the last Meetup Monday for the summer as a standard thing. Next week we're going to do something slightly different. We are going live. We will be in a bar or on a bench somewhere, one of the two. We're not sure yet where we're going, but we'll probably be closer to wherever you are if you're on holiday. You won't have to come all the way out here because we're going to drive somewhere and get off and just have a chit chat with you guys, and then we'll come home and cook, or we'll have already cooked or something like that. And yeah, so thanks for watching. So don't forget, it is Meetup Monday is slightly different, but it's still live at 5:55. So come on and chit chat anytime you like. Balcony Banter is staying the same as it is, and it will also be the first first Wednesday of the month on Juliane and Nendel's channel. And Freaky Friday this week is going to be somewhere else other than the Monte Cristo. I'm going to drive again, so check that out.